we're here to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Friday, October 31st here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Jiyeon.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Also, Wonbing's with us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we finally reached the end of the week and excitement is in the air. So today marks a much anticipated APEC leaders meeting, a key moment where leaders from across the Asia-Pacific region come together to discuss trade, economic cooperation, and the future of the region. With so much at stake, this year's meeting is drawing attention not just from policymakers, but from businesses and citizens alike. So Jiyeon, is there anything specific you might want to highlight?
Of course. There are several things that is going on in Gyeongju right now. There's something quite special about this year's APEC indeed. From today through tomorrow, APEC officially kicks off in Gyeongju, a city that once served as the capital of the Shillak Kingdom for nearly 1,000 years. Yes, indeed, it's truly a city where you can feel Korea's long history, filled with UNESCO heritage sites, ancient temples and tombs, timeless beauty over there. And even for Koreans, it's one of the most visited places, most visited destinations that you've got to go. That makes this APEC meeting feel even more, special and wonderful.
So like you said, we're going to talk more about what makes the city also really special. So do you have anything to add to this one, Min?
Yeah, of course. I just want to emphasize that this is the first APEC meeting in Korea since the 2005 Busan APEC meeting, which was 20 years ago. And it's quite fascinating for me because, let's be honest, like when it comes to normal people, in terms of these big global events or political events, normal people don't really pay that much attention to it. However, in this case, I really noticed that something was different because everyone that I met who were not even interested in politics or global economy, they all heard about this APEC meeting is going to happen in Korea, and at least they heard about it, heard something related to it. So it's pretty amazing, and this definitely shows that the APEC leaders meeting is a major event, and I really look forward to see how Korea will be portrayed to the world via the news presses around the world.
And it's not just symbolic. It's been, like Wonbing said, 20 years since the last time Korea hosted APEC, and real momentum has been built up. That long gap has only heightened the expectations. People are watching closely to see what Korea can also showcase. So let's take a look at the screen to learn more. The APEC 2025 Leaders Meeting is officially underway in Gyeongju, marking a major gathering of all the member economies of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation in one place. With so much on the agenda, innovation, sustainability, economic ties in the Asia-Pacific, the meeting is expected to be important not just for Korea, but for the entire region. Here on News Generation, we're going to take a closer look at what to expect from the APEC CEO Summit to the series of high-level events. So as we just saw in the video, leaders and business figures from across the region are now gathered in Gyeongju for a full lineup of high-level meetings and cultural events. And as we talked about on the show yesterday, APEC plays a crucial role in shaping the Asia-Pacific economy. So before we dive into the meeting, let's briefly remind our audience, so what is APEC and why is this meeting such an important event for the entire region, Jiyeon?
Yes, I'll tell you this every single detail. Yeah, as you mentioned earlier yesterday, APEC stands for Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, which is a regional economic forum. It was first founded back in 1989, and it was to promote trade and investment liberalization across the Asia-Pacific. And today, it has grown into the largest regional economic cooperation body, bringing together 21 different member economies. It aims to foster inclusive growth and sustainable prosperity throughout the region. And beyond economics, APEC also serves as a platform for dialogue, summits on digital innovation, climate action, and social resilience. And this helps member economies stay connected and future-ready in an ever-changing world. And it's truly remarkable that such a global meeting is taking place right here in Gyeongju, Korea, a city where Korea's past and future meet.
Right, and with, like you said, 21 economies involved, what gets talked about here will have a significant impact on the world trade. So it's a massive platform that really shapes how countries in this region do business together. And it shows why this week matters. There's a lot at stake for both governments and industries, especially now with cooperation being key as the region navigates new economic challenges and technologies. And one of the major events happening in Gyeongju is the APEC CEO Summit. So who's attending and why is it getting so much attention this year, especially Wonbin?
Yes, indeed. There will actually be more than 1,700 CEOs joining the APEC CEO Summit in Gyeongju this year. We actually have I have to say, a pretty exciting list of entrepreneurs and CEOs attending the APEC this week. As someone who is really interested in, global corporations and the economy, it almost feels like a concert festival lineup. And to give you guys some example, we'll start off with Jensen Huang, who is the founder and the CEO of NVIDIA, the company that makes AI possible. And there's also rumor that he will meet with the CEOs of the Korean companies such as Samsung and SK, so we will have to look into that as well. And there's Jane Fraser, the CEO of Citigroup, one of the biggest global banks. Joaquin Duato as well, CEO of Johnson & Johnson, which is the company that makes pretty much everything that is related to sanitation. So the APEC CEO Summit will be the networking party for this year that will allow companies to communicate and collaborate to achieve above and beyond.
And that's a really impressive lineup. So like you said, I guess we will have to keep a close eye on this as well. And also it'll be exciting to see there's also going to be a wide range of Korean culture and innovation being showcased from food to beauty to fireworks apparently. So speaking of which, can you give us some examples of maybe food and also beauty products that will be featured at this event?
Of course. I feel like this would be one of the most exciting parts for the normal people. A variety of Korean culture will be showcased during the APEC meeting, from K-food to K-beauty, one of the most popular trends nowadays. So starting from food, the popular foods such as 컵밥, 떡볶이, 김밥, 라면, which are the traditional cheap Korean street foods. And if you guys watched K-pop Demon Hunters, you guys definitely know what they are. To the traditional Korean fried chicken, and 곰탕 as well, which is a Korean style bone broth with deep flavor. Another example is 농심, which is the company that made 신라면, which was shown in K-pop Demon Hunters, will be showcasing their products as well. And in terms of K-beauty, Olive Young, the very famous cosmetic shop that all tourists visit during their Korea trip, and LG 생활건강, which means LG Life and Well-being, will be sponsoring the APEC meeting and hand out souvenirs to the visitors, so they will be able to try out the K-beauty products themselves.
All of this sounds super exciting. It's also amazing to see how culture is being showcased through both taste and style. And beyond that, the organizers are going all out to make the experience really memorable. So what kinds of equipment or support are perhaps Korean companies providing to ensure the event runs smoothly? I've also heard there's a very special fireworks and drone show planned. So what can we expect there, China?
Yes, besides K-food, K-street food and K-beauty, we have lots of companies participating this time. Many Korean companies, both large and small, have come together to support this year's APEC. In particular, industries that represent the power of the Korean way, from K-food and K-beauty to automobiles, will be showcased throughout the meeting. Korean vehicles and premium display technologies are also supportive, and logistics and hospitality, while small and medium-sized businesses are contributing products such as massage chairs and water purifiers in order to enhance guest comfort. Well, for international guests, special cruise accommodations have been arranged as well. This will offer a very unique stay experience for them.
Wow.
And the highlight of the night, Korea's now famous K-fireworks and drone show. This will light up the sky with 50,000 fireworks and 2,000 drones. This will absolutely blend technology, creativity, and the Korean spirit as well. Well, these efforts are expected to build new momentum for expanding the Korean wave worldwide.
Well, so that's quite an impressive setup, from vehicles and TVs to massage chairs and water purifiers. And the highlight, I think, will have to be the fireworks and drone show. I can't imagine the vision that 50,000 fireworks and 2,000 drones will create. So now shifting gears a bit, now focusing on Gyeongju as a host city. So what comes to mind when you think of this historic city, Jian?
Well, when we think of Gyeongju, I think many will think about, school trips or sometimes honeymoon, because back in the days, our old generation went to honeymoon to Gyeongju.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and for many Koreans, they went there for many school trips, and it was a fun experience for them as well. And it's a place where ancient palaces and golden tombs quietly tell stories itself of 1,000 years, and you can still feel the elegance of Schiller's history over there in every street and every stone. That's why it's such a wonderful place to visit with children, a perfect city to help them learn history in the most vivid way. They say seeing once is worth hearing 100 times, and Gyeongju is truly the place that brings history to life. So I'm actually planning to read some Korean history books to my children and head to Gyeongju straight away.
I mean, because there's so much stuff to see there, I can see why a lot of schools decide to go to trips there as well.
That's right.
So what's your experience like with Gyeongju?
I would like to add a small comment about food. I feel like I'm introducing a lot of foods this show. But on top of the amazing historical sites that Juyeon mentioned, Gyeongju has a lot of local food specialties. And among them, the breads are actually quite unique. So they have the famous bread called 시번빵, which is a bread that is named after the 10-won coin, which is the equivalent of a penny. It's not used as often anymore. And there is also hwangnampang, which is very famous. It's a type of bread that has traditional sweet red bean paste in it. So this bread actually has been selected as one of the official desserts for the 2025 APEC leaders meeting this year.
So there's also a lot of food to look forward to as well.
Yes.
So it looks like Gyeongju is a place that holds a lot of memories for many South Koreans, as a place that many people went to for school trips to see its history and iconic cultural sites. And now with this major international gathering taking place there, it looks like Gyeongju is set to be remembered by people from all over the world. So to get a sense of what draws visitors to this historic city, we asked our audience on the Arirang News YouTube channel, if you visit Gyeongju, what would you most like to experience? So let's take a look at the results here. The majority, or 74% of people, said they are drawn to its cultural heritage sites, such as Bulguksa Temple and the Seokguram Grotto. Meanwhile, 12% expressed interest in sampling local cuisine, and 8% said they would like to visit trendy spots. And the remaining 6% mentioned other experience they hope to enjoy during their visit. So it's quite clear from the results that Gyeongju's rich history is what draws most visitors, with cultural heritage sites like Bulguksa Temple and Seokguram Grotto topping the list. But it's interesting to see that people also want to experience the local flavors and trendy spots, showing that the city really offers a mix of history, culture, and modern attractions. So to learn more about what it's like to experience Gyeongju from a visitor's perspective, we're going to talk to a content creator from the Philippines who has visited the city, and that conversation will take place right after the break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
Joining us today is Dave, a content creator from the Philippines. So hi Dave, thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Hi from the Philippines. Annyeonghaseyo, everyone.
안녕하세요.
So Dave, when was the last time you visited Gyeongju?
The last time I visited Gyeongju was mid-June. So it was June 14. We were actually on a familiarization trip with Korea Tourism Organization. So from Busan, it took us 1 hour to Gyeongju via bus. So it was also a discovery of Gyeongju, showcasing its rich history and culture, because we also recognize that this year, it's Gyeongju that will be hosting the APEC Summit.
Lovely, Dave. Then if you were to recommend just one place or food in Gyeongju, what would it be?
If you have limited time and there's only limited places that you can visit Gyeongju, or if you'll be in Gyeongju, there's this one place that you shouldn't miss. It's Donggung Palace and Wulji Pond. So this is, according to our tour guide, this is a former residence or a former palace of the Crown Prince from the Shilla dynasty. So it was also constructed more than 1,000 years ago. So imagine the history that this place holds. And in fact, according to our tour guide as well, and according to my research as well, when they did an excavation of the Wulji Pond in 1974, they discovered thousands of precious relics and artifacts. Actually, Gyeongju, it's very interesting to me because it is called a museum without walls. Because when, again, they discovered a lot of artifacts in the city. And one interesting story that our tour guide told us is that one construction of a building had to be stopped because the construction workers started to unearth many artifacts. So I feel like anytime that I dig in Gyeongju, I will dig something special or something precious. And of course, aside from the rich history and culture of the Donggung Palace and the Wulji Pond, it's especially famous for its nighttime view. And it's indeed breathtaking at night because when we were there at around 6 p.m., I just had fun walking around because the reflections of the traditional buildings at night, the reflections on the waters, on the pond, these are just breathtaking. And apparently, Wulji means pond reflecting the moon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it says it means a pond reflecting moon. And true enough, especially at night, it's so breathtaking, it's so beautiful that I felt like I was just in a K-drama. It was in a historical K-drama, a main character in a K-drama. So for every, not just for every K-drama fan, I think for everyone who will be visiting Korea, who will be visiting Seoul or Busan, why not try visiting Gyeongju? Because it holds a lot of history, culture, and at night, the beauty. It's worth savoring for.
I see. That sounds like a wonderful experience, and thank you so much for the recommendation as well. Now, if you had one chance to go back, if you had the chance to go back again, what would you do most? What would you most want to experience again in Gyeongju?
Definitely there's top of mind. It's Wangnidan Street. We were there only for a limited time. So when we were there, I think it was just about 1 to 2 hours. I were hanbok and just walked around the area. So Wangnidan Street, I believe it's the trendiest and the hottest spot right now, like in Gyeongju. Our tour guide also told us that it's like the Myeongdong in Seoul. So if I will go back, I would stay there again. Maybe just stay in a cafe, savor it, immerse myself into the street. And I love that it's a perfect blend of ancient history and modern culture. Because when I was there, the thing that fascinated me most actually in Gyeongju was not just the palace, but also the real tombs. So the burial tombs. So these tombs look like hills, and apparently these are so precious because the nobility during the Shilla dynasty, an ancient kingdom in Korea, um, their crowns, their jewels, their treasures were buried here. And apparently even bodies were buried here. So it's just fascinating that this real tombs like holds that rich history. And of course, I like the vibe in the street because there are so many cafes in Hanok style restaurant. So I believe when I go back to Gyeongju, I'll definitely go to Wangnidan for the perfect blend of ancient history and modern culture.
Well, I really hope you get a chance to visit Gyeongju again sometime soon. Also, thank you so much
Yeah,
for
I hope to. Thank you.
Thank you so much for
you.
joining us today. So we just talked to a young person from the Philippines about his experiences visiting Gyeongju, what drew him to the city, and what he enjoyed the most during his trip. So aside from the high-level events such as the APEC CEO Summit, what other events are taking place this time, Jian?
Well, from September and October, there's so many festivals and activities over in Gyeongju filled with celebrations and lots of festivals as well. This was to hope the wishing for the successful hoping of the APEC itself. And visitors actually enjoy the 2025 World Heritage Festival, where they could fully experience the beauty of Korea's UNESCO treasures. And there was a Shilla Cultural Festival. This also took place there and offered a variety of performances, and the Golden Garden Night Walk, now famous as a nighttime festival, captivated both domestic and international tourists. In social media, there are lots of posts about these festivals. And in fact, the number of visitors to Gyeongju surged dramatically during this season. The city truly proved that it is a place that you got to go.
And that's really impressive. So many festivals packed in just a couple of months, and they even drew international tourists. So Gyeongju really seems to be a hub for culture and history. And it's amazing to see how Gyeongju combines heritage and modern festivities, a perfect mix for both locals and international visitors. And for those who couldn't attend these festivals, are there more culture events coming up later this year, Wonbin?
Of course, of course. So for those who actually missed out on the previous festivals, there's no need to feel left out. Even after October, a series of cultural and artistic events will continue, including the 2025 Gyeongju Daereungwon National Heritage Media Art Festival, featuring multi-shows, live performances, and drone shows across the Pomun Tourist Complex. The celebrations will go on even after the 2025 APEC meeting.
I mean, that's great to hear. So even if you miss the autumn festivals, Gyeongju has plenty more to offer with media art shows, performances, and drone displays. And the celebrations basically don't stop after APEC, which is fantastic for visitors. But for those who will be in Gyeongju during APEC, are there any tips or precautions travelers should be aware of?
Yeah, of course. Well, they don't usually have traffic jam in Gyeongju, but for those planning to visit Gyeongju during the APEC leaders meeting, please note that there may be traffic control and parking restrictions around the Pomun Tourist Complex where the main meetings are held. So it's best to check transportation and accommodation in advance. And above all, remember, safety comes first, second and always. And after all, it's better to arrive a little early than miss all the fireworks and drone shows. And one more thing, don't forget to charge your phone or mobile. You will want plenty of battery for all those beautiful sceneries and photos, of course.
All of this is very practical advice.
Indeed.
Wonbin, do you have anything to add to this?
Yeah, of course. So as we just talked about throughout this whole show, Gyeongju is a culturally rich they're very rich in cultural heritage and literally a living museum of the Korean history. So as you explore, please be mindful of the preservation rules that protects the ancient sites, because there are many historical sites, and among them, most beloved landmarks are the Bulguksa Temple, which is a UNESCO World Heritage site representing Shilla's Buddhist history, and Cheomseongdae Observatory as well, the oldest existing astronomical observatory in Asia. Now let's do all our part to keep Gyeongju's timeless beauty forever.
Right, so Gyeongju is clearly a city that blends history, culture, and modern festivities in a way that captivates both locals and international visitors. From World Heritage sites and K-food to media art shows, performances, and dazzling drone displays, there's something basically for everyone, and the celebrations don't stop even after the APEC wraps up. So whether you're a first-time visitor or returning to relive your favorite experiences, Gyeongju offers a rich and memorable journey that highlights the best of Korea's heritage and innovation. So that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. My News Gen will be back on Monday at 10:30 a.m. Korea with more stories and discussions. Big thanks to Chuyeon.
Always my pleasure.
And also Wonbin.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in. To our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, and we hope you have the best day. We are News Generation.